If you find getting in and out of the electric fence that protects your poultry a bit of a chore, because you have to disconnect the power and you have to pull up a pole to get through the net, stick around. Today I'm reviewing the very latest hot gate, which lets you quickly and easily get through electric poultry mesh. Hello, welcome to English Country Life. Welcome to the sadly unoccupied main chicken enclosure. We're still in avian influenza flock down here, so the birds are in a netted enclosure behind where you are right now. And hopefully they'll be released soon. That all depends on new outbreaks and the migratory birds. But it's quite useful in some ways, because today I want to do some adjustments to our electric fence setup. And what we're going to do today is look at a new variety of hot gate that our friends at Hotline have created. They've sent us one free with no expectation of a positive review or a video, but just to try out and report back what we think of it. But I thought I'd share that with you. Now, if you don't know what a hot gate is, it's this. This gate is electrified, the fence is still electrified, but using that gate I can get in and out of the enclosure very simply. It's a wonderful device, much better than disconnecting power and pulling up poles. We've got several of them that we bought and paid for, so I was intrigued to think, well, what could be better about it? And that's what we're going to look at today. We're going to take a look at how these work, how the traditional one worked, look at the design of the new one, determine whether it's any better and which one we would buy going forward. So let's look at the existing design of hot gate. What is it? Well, I've turned the power off because I'll zap myself otherwise. It's about 1 metre of electric fence. On this side it's got a normal pole and it connects up to your existing electric fence with these speed connectors, which I really like, by the way. So power runs through your fence into the gate, into this 1 metre of electric fence. On this side there's a pole attached to the mesh with a blunt foot and a clip at the top. And you get a second pole here that has a cup. That blunt foot fits into the cup, and at the top there's a push fit clip that snaps home and holds this under tension, stops it dragging on the floor and shorting out. Once you've used them for a little bit, it's like, you don't need to look at them. You can very simply move them around, clip it back together, in and out when you want to collect eggs or fill a drinker or clean your chickens out in the morning. They're very, very useful things. So honestly, the existing hot gate is a vast improvement over no hot gate at all. I really like them. I think we own about 5 that we use in various configurations. So no complaints here, really like them. There are 2 things that do annoy me slightly, the things that I think could be improved. The first one is, what if I want to leave the gate open? Doesn't happen every day, but for example at the moment, under the netted enclosure, we've got the netted enclosure for the chickens with an electric fence around the outside. So even if we leave the gate wide open, the chickens can't get out because the netted enclosure is keeping them in. But if I want to walk into that enclosure carrying 2 watering cans full of water to fill the drinkers, or 2 full drinkers, or a sack of feed, what do I do with the gate? I mean, what I tend to do is kind of try and prop it up on the rest of the fence, but it does that. And then of course I don't want to go and turn the power off, so I try and pick it up and I zap myself, and it's a bit of a pain. So, and of course what you also get is what I've got now. It gets tangled because it's fallen over and you have to mess with it. It's not a problem most of the time, because honestly most of the time our chickens are out free ranging inside the electric fence and I'm not going to hold the gate open. But on the occasions when I want to leave it open, it's kind of hard to do. That's the gate we've been looking at, but I want to explain something to you. See that coop with a green top? Well, if you look just beyond that, you'll see the bottom of our fruit cage, and there's another gate over there so that we can walk through, get to the other side of the garden. Further round, just about in the middle of the screen to the left of that tree trunk, you'll see a brown box with a grey felted lid on it. That's the battery box, and that's where the power comes into our electric fence. And there's a third gate there. We have a very large enclosure with 3 separate gates, and that creates some wiring problems for us. Let me explain what they are. The other problem that we do get is where we want multiple gates of the old style. One gate, really simple. Put it over roughly where the energizer is, it'll work grand, no issues. But let me try and explain what the difficulty is with multiple gates. So this is the powered part of the electric fence. Runs off in a wiggly line over there, ends up at the energizer. It connects to this, the 1 meter length of the gate. So this is powered. But as you can see, there is no connection to a different piece of fence attached the other side. Now, it wasn't hard to deal with that, to be honest. What I did was made a long lead, put a crocodile clip on each end, attached it to the power output of this fence, runs down that pole, made a little trench, a couple of inches deep, buried it underground, brought it up that pole with another crocodile clip on the other end, to put power into that fence. And it just is almost like a patch lead, joining the 2 parts of the fence so that they're not interrupted by the gate. Fairly straightforward, but there was nothing commercially available to do that. So you had to be able to make your own patch lead. This is the new style of hot gate, and I think you can see straight away what the major difference is. It's a solid gate. It's not, as the old one was, about 1 metre of poultry mesh with a pole at each end. This is a solid gate, and of course the upshot of that is you can open the gate, it will stand up on its own. You can carry your drinkers and your feeders and your sacks of oyster grit through without this thing dropping on the ground and you zapping yourself when you try and pick it up. It also comes with a patch lead, and with instructions of how to patch from one side to the other. So for people who've never done that, that is such a benefit that it's been thought about and been addressed, and you know, people have now got to the point of understanding that some of us want big enclosures, so that's great. A few other things to note: the electrical connectors are different but will fit perfectly well onto the existing ones, so that's fine. The other thing to note is it is narrow. I would say probably 20 centimetres narrower. Now, honestly, it's more than big enough to walk in and out of, so what? The one thing that occurs to me is occasionally Fiona and I used to take coops through, and we could carry them through the old mesh type hot gate. I don't think they'd fit through that, which would just mean we'd have to pull a pole up when we took the coops out, which we only generally do once a year in winter for maintenance purposes, so that doesn't worry me. Would I buy the solid gate over the mesh gate? Yes, I would, because it's so much more convenient to use. As a country bloke, of course, the new style hot gate's got one other advantage. I can lean on it and watch the world go by. And what kind of a countryman doesn't lean on a gate and watch the chickens have fun? If you've enjoyed today's video, can you spare us 5 seconds? Give us a thumbs up down below. If there are other chicken keeping, small holding, country kind of products you'd like to see some reviews of, let us know in the comments what they are, and we'll try and make you those kind of videos. If you'd like to see them and all the other videos we make on chicken keeping, small holding, self-sufficiency, just tap subscribe and the bell next to it. You'll hear every time we upload a new video. But thanks for watching. Come back and see us soon. Take care.